Hello everyone, I'm Kelly and today I'm going to be showing you how to give limited privileges to users in a Linux system. Alright, so before we dive into the video or into the lab, I just want to give a brief overview about Linux. So Linux is actually an open source operating system kernel, and when we talk about Linux, we're actually referring to the various Linux distributions, okay? And these Linux distributions are equally called Linux distro. So the popular ones are Fedora, Ubuntu, Debian, AlmaLinux, and we can name more. All right, so I just want you to know that with Linux, there are a handful of applications that have been built using Linux, or there are a handful of security applications that have been built using Linux, or APIs that have been built using Linux. So this is a very, very cool system to use. Okay. All right. So just a view, or just what are we going to be doing in this lab today? Today we're actually going to be using AlmaLinux, and we're going to see how to create users in Linux, assign passwords to the users. We are going to equally see how to visit or enter visudo files so that we can like edit privileges or give privileges to users. And of course, those privileges will have limitations. So we are even going to test the privileges and see how to switch from one user to another. So generally, this lab is about assigning limited privileges to the users in Linux. Okay, so not just that, we are going to be using AlmaLinux. So let's just dive straight into the video as we learn together.
Linux look like. I'm just going to log in into my system. And of course, I've been successfully logged in. I know there's no particular change, like someone is going to want that there should be a graphical interface and so on, but the specificities of my machine couldn't carry that, so I just had to go with this. Okay, so what we're going to be doing in this first step is that we're going to be creating users, assigning passwords to them, and we're going to be giving them privileges. Of course, in any company, in any organization, not everybody can do everything, or not everybody should do everything, or should see everything, or should control everything. There is always that boundary each person should have so that things can move on smoothly. So we are going to be making use of two particular users now. That is, we'll use Lionel, Katelyn, and we can use Maggie. Okay, so here we are, and we'll start creating our users. So for Lionel, we just have to write the command. That is going to be sudo user add. So I'm just going to give my password. And we have created Lionel. Let me give him a password sudo password Lionel. Okay, so I'm changing the password for Lionel, or I'm giving him a new password. I'm just going to input the same name since we are practicing, and I don't want any bad password, but I don't want anything complicated. Okay, so the creation of Lionel's account is successful. We'll just do the same for Katelyn and Maggie. So for Katelyn, we are just going to sudo user add Katelyn, and we give her a password. We had used the command before, so I just password Katelyn. Yeah, and just give our password. I'm just inputting the same name as I did for Lionel. I don't want anything complicating. Okay, successfully, Katelyn's account has been created. So we are going to create an account for Maggie. The user add Maggie. Okay. I'm sure most of you have noticed that I'm like repeating the letters at the end. It's because I had created users before with this name, so I just wanted to be different. Even though I telling that their files are still left on the machine, so I just went to sudo password Maggie. Yes, and we just input a password. Yes, successfully. So we have successfully created our two users and we have given them passwords. So now we are going to open our Sudo as well. And to open that Sudo as well, we have sudo visudo. So now we are in the Sudo as well, and we are having an instruction here that we should find the storage command alias and remove the comment symbol in front. So most of when you're here, for you to be able to edit, you have to press I, and then you're gonna come down. So we're looking for the Sudo as well for alias. Yeah, we are finding the storage command, and this is the command here. So it has already been removed. And one thing we are going to do is that we are going to like come at the end of the file and give privileges to these users we have created. There is something we're supposed to know that these are commands. These are the various users. These are the host names, and these are the users themselves. So for Lionel, we use the tab key. Lionel has the privilege on. We use the tab key on. So what I'm doing now is very much similar to what is above. In the previous times I had done it before. So for Katelyn has quite a different command that she has to be able to run. And now we have Maggie. So we use our tab key on. Okay, so with that we just press we like verify if what we are doing or if what we have written or typed is correct. Yes, it's correct. So we are going to press an escape key, save the configuration file. That is, we have a semicolon and we write WQ and we take enter. So now we are back to our local host. So what have we done? We have actually edited our sudo file. And this sudo file contains like privileges or a list of privileges which users can be able to access and a lot more. Okay, so this is our sudo file. Had it been it was like a graphical interface terminal, it would have opened in maybe in another window and so on. So you'll be seeing a lot of difference. But now this one, that's how it is. But no worries though. Yeah, when you get used to it, it's quite interesting working with the black box. Okay, so now we are now going to use the command sudo dash username of any account holder to get into the accounts. What do I mean? Please look at this. So here we have sudo dash. So we have sudo dash Lionel. Yes, they're asking me the password. Yes, so now as you can see, I've now logged in as Lionel. And now for us to be able to verify these privileges we have given to Lionel, yeah, because we have given him all privileges. Now he's just like he's just like a whole user. So for us to be able to verify these privileges we have given to Lionel, we just have to run some commands and see that it's functioning properly. So earlier today we saw how we could create users in Linux and equally give them passwords. So now these users that we created, we are not going now to like verify what we see in the sudo as far as we get them privileges, and now we are going to verify those privileges which we get them. So yes, now we are just going to log into the Lionel's account. So please, as you can see, this is the hands-on we have. Yeah, so that we can all follow together. So okay, so the first command of us to be able to log into the Lionel's account, we type the command sudo or su dash Lionel. Yes, the actual Lionel's password we did it. And now we are now logged into Lionel's account. So another thing we want to do is to type the command sudo su, and it's sudo su. It's a common command used in Linux to gain the root privileges. So we're going to click sudo su. Su actually means root user. Okay, this was so this is how I say sometimes. This is how the computer is sometimes. You just press out on a space and you can stay there for a whole day. So we are not being logged in as a root user, but now we cannot stay in the root user's account because it's except that we have something really handy to do. But now we cannot, so we just exit and go back to Lionel's account. So this is just showing us that Lionel has those privileges, as you saw how that we did it in the sudo file. Yeah, he has his privileges just like the root user, just like to do anything with the system. Yeah, so we are not back on Lionel's account and we're going to continue typing our commands. So now we now have systemctl status SSHD. So what this command actually does is that in simple terms, it checks if the SSH server is running and it shows its details. So we now click enter, and of course these are the details of the SSH server, and equally we can see active. So now we now continue. The next command we are going to take is sudo f -l. Sudo f -l, and what this does is it lists all the disk partitions on the system. And of course, we can see the disk partitions on our system, or the disk partition on our system here. We exit and we are now back on our main user. We didn't read. So at times when you're using AlmaLinux and you click in the terminal, your mouse gets missing or it gets stuck. Let me say so. So what we do to like get back your mouse or to see your mouse pointer, you just tap or tap control, and this is it. So we are not just going out to do almost the same things for Katelyn. We are just going out to like log into Katelyn's account and then run these commands to see the various privileges or the various commands Katelyn can run. Yeah, or some, because the commands are always really many. So of course, even the organizations today or companies today, not everyone is supposed to have a privilege. Not everyone is supposed to see everything. Not everyone is supposed to know everything. So now there are these particular things that people can do. Okay, now we are not going to run the sudo system sttus sst command, and you're going to see that it's going to run for Katelyn. Why? Because in the sudo as file, we specify that Katelyn it should be able to run the command that on all host names on all. Okay. So we're not going to not take the command sudo. Yeah, sudo system ctl. And now the reason why we're going to be using sudo for Katelyn or sudo before this command is so that it uses sudo to run the systemctl command with root privileges. Okay. Sudo systemctl status sshd. Okay, I think that's correct. And we enter. So we now we enter our password Katelyn. See that the command has been executed. Why? Because Katelyn has the right. She has the privilege to run the command as specified in the sudo as well. So this is already like ringing a bell in our minds that the activities, the lanes, the spheres of users can always be controlled in the system, be it a company, an organization, and so on. So what Katelyn or what this command has done is that it has checked if the SSH server is running and it has shown its details. And of course, this is what we have. Where's my mouse pointer? And of course, this is what we have as results after running the command. So next, we're going to run another command sudo system restart. So what this command is going to do is that it's going to, as when I'm talking and writing is also something. So what this command is going to do is that it's going to restart the SSH service. Yeah, that is it's going to stop it and then restart it. Okay, so sorry, so we have received a message that sorry, the user keeping is not allowed to execute this. So we've seen this wasn't specified. So if we have gone in our sudo path and add this command to Katelyn, oh yeah, it's going to execute without any issue. Okay, so that's that for Katelyn, and that's not all. We are just equally going to add sudo fx -l. So sudo fx-l, this command lists all the disk partitions on your system, and as you can see, we are not able to access it. Why are we not able to access it? Katelyn does not have that privilege. Okay, so I think this is good so far. So now we're going to log in as Maggie and just run the same command we ran before. Okay, so we might just go back to Katelyn's page. Yeah, we're not gonna we'll just go here to Katelyn's page, and we know to log into Maggie's account, we'll just have to use the same command and input Maggie's name. So we're asking for a password, we enter it, and of course, we've logged in as Maggie. So we just do the same thing, sudo su, enter. So will Maggie be able to gain the privilege of your root user or not? Let's find out. So we enter the password for Maggie, and sorry, yeah. Do you remember in the sudo as file, equally for Maggie, we didn't give her the permission to. So we actually gave her the permission for storage, meaning that there's another command concerning storage that should be able to. So anyways, let's just go down and run some other commands and see. Sudo systemctl. Yes, this was the same command we ran for Katelyn. Yeah, and it ran well because it was being given to us. So for Maggie, I can just guess that of course it will run. And we have a message. Sorry, Maggie is not allowed to execute. System CTL restart SSHC. You're asking for passwords, and yeah, sorry, she's not able to. Okay, not everyone should have every privilege, should have every access. No, it's going to cause a lot of misuse, it's going to cause a lot of disorganization. In fact, it's going to cause chaos. Now, for Maggie, we're going to implement another command we use for Katelyn, and this command is going to be sudo fx-l. We take enter, Maggie, I guess it's one. Okay, of course it has. So you remember, in the sudo file, we actually specified for Maggie that she should have that yes, that she should be able to run the storage commands. That is why Maggie is able to run this sudo fx-l, which it lists all the disk partition. Of course, it has to do with storage, and so yeah, Maggie was able to run it. So Maggie has been able to run some commands, Katelyn has been able to run some commands, and Lionel has been able to run all commands. Why? Because Lionel is actually like the root user. He has all the privileges. He can access anything. He can do anything on the system. He's just like the root user, okay? But now, for Maggie and for Katelyn, they are not like root users. They don't have the privileges for everything. So, but this is very important. This is very important. Not everyone should have access to everything. I think that's like the motto of this video because I've been saying it so much. Not everyone should have access to everything, to every resource, to every information. It's very, very important. Yes, in keeping the company, the organizations, and yeah, keeping them all safe. So this is that about lab. Oh, that is that about lab one, and we are going to continue in lab two. See you.